I lowered my face into my palms, rubbing my eyes with a vigorous urge to stay awake. This week had been utter hell. Right? And every bit of me was being torn apart by each passing day. Then a frantic voice came over the intercom. "Sir, are you there?" It was my new secretary. I stabbed at the button, groaning. What now? "Yes, Bernice. What is it?" "Sir, there's an unauthorized vehicle entering the property." My eyes shot open, suddenly fully awake. "You let them in?" "No, sir." The woman sounded like she was coming unglued, her voice breaking. "They pushed their way in through the back." I'm not laughing. The back. The entrance and exit for our faction vehicles. I shot out of my chair, yelling out orders immediately. "Seal the doors. Put the school on lockdown." "Already done, sir," she answered quickly. "Get yourself someplace safe." My last words to her were hard, a lump rising in my throat. I tapped the screen on my desk, calling up new orders. "Protect the school. Protect yourselves." Below us, I heard a student scream. I opened my desk drawer, revealing the hidden compartment to retrieve my gun. It was hardly ever used, but next to it was my knife, one I always used to wear. I pulled out the blade, staring at it in my hands. If someone was invading our safe haven through the back entrance, they knew what we were. This was a retaliation, a specific attack. "I never thought I'd see you with a weapon in your hands again, old man." The voice was filled with amusement in spite of the situation. My fingers wrapped around the hilt of my blade in anger. I knew that voice all too well. "What are you doing?" I hissed. Something I should have done a long time ago. Rochester stepped in my office, his cigar breathing tendrils of smoke, with ash falling occasionally from the end to the hardwood below. He was bigger than I remembered, chubbier than when I'd last seen him, over 30 years ago. The weight made his cheeks seem more scarred, the pockmarks deeper, though his eyes had lost none of their intensity. "Your people claimed a war on me, Jacob. Now I'm returning the favor." Another man came around him, rail thin, wiry, criminal. Rochester's hand appeared from within his fur cape. In it was a large gun, pointed at me. I laughed and came around my desk, knife still in hand. It would have been fruitless to go for my own gun. "So you're going to shoot me? I doubt a simple bullet will do the job." Rochester's smile broadened. He glanced at the shining weapon in my hand, and back at me, and cocked his head as he passed his gun to his comrade. The man grinned and pulled the trigger. A pain, small and pointed, ripped through my leg. I grunted, falling to my knee, gasping. The wound wouldn't kill me, but it hurt. "Oh, I doubt it'll kill you," Rochester said. His heavy, polished boots clomped on the wood toward me. I held tight to my knife, darting in and out with it when he got close, but he stepped sideways. The blade skimmed his pelt. Then his associate's boot met my face without reserve. Pain exploded in my chin. I fell backward, cracking my head on the corner of the desk. I blinked fast, trying to dispel the haze of my vision. "You missed, Rochester," I gasped, blood welling from my mouth. My tongue throbbed where I'd bit it. "What are you really here for?" The man who had once been my friend knelt before me, grabbing my shirt in his fist. I cringed as the smoke from his cigar blew into my face. "I have a theory about all the things that you and Jillian and Matthew would not tell me. Now I'm going to prove it." He pulled me closer, patting the broken cheekbone with smarting briskness. "But to do that, I need guinea pigs. Where better to collect them than this lovely zoo?" My eyes grew wide. With anger suffusing my body, I spat in his face. "You will not touch any of my children." Stunned, Rochester pursed his lips and wiped the spittle of blood from his brow. "I will discover those secrets, St. Patrick, and I'll determine how to make it a reality for us." He threw me back. My head hit the desk again with a crunch, and I cringed. "You can't." My voice was hoarse. "Can't duplicate it. We've tried." Ignoring my last words, he stood and glanced over my desk, then out the window. He broke into a grin. "Well, perhaps one guinea pig will squeal enough for me." He waved his hand and turned to leave. "Finish it." I didn't have time to argue as the thin man straightened his arm and fired his weapon into my chest. This was so carefully planned. It went up.
Oh, there we go.
There was a free tirade of blood dripping down my stomach. I slumped, the rise of death rushing over me quickly. My eyes were clouding over. Doctor, I doubt you'll be able to save him, I heard Rochester say, nodding with brisk politeness to a person in the doorway. Catherine stood there, bewildered. The criminals left. I put my hand beside me, trying to sit up, but I fell. Jacob! My lover was beside me in seconds, ripping off her lab coat to bunch against my chest, trying to staunch the blood that was flowing from the gaping hole in my flesh. Weak, I dropped the knife and raised my hand, brushing my fingertips against her cheek. Too late, I gasped. But I won't stay dead. Bawling, Catherine lowered me to the ground, resting my head on her lap. I wanted to resist, to tell her she was going to get blood all over herself. I couldn't get out the words. My lips were numb. The cold, crashing waves of death were washing over me. Outside my window there was yelling and screaming. My eyes lolled toward the window. Catherine, who knew me far too well by gesture alone, choked back her sobs and eased herself out from under me. I heard the brushing of her soles against the floor. I noticed that for once she was wearing sensible ones instead of the heels that she favored. Her form blocked out the sun, and I watched her elongated shadow travel up the wall. It's Celia. She's back, Catherine exclaimed, but her happiness was quickly quenched. They're fighting with her, those men who were here. Oh, God, Jacob, they have another gun. I never heard the shot. I knew it had gone off by the sudden jolt of Catherine's hand to the window frame. I tried to move or speak, but I was too far gone, my body cold, muscles unresponsive. I was listening to my lover's quickened breath, hoping that she would tell the story below and how it ended before mine did. But no words surfaced, for what seemed like seconds, minutes, forever. Finally, when I thought I'd finally succumbed to the death darkness, Catherine stepped back, her shadow's hand lifting to my face. My God. She stumbled toward me, kneeling on the ground, touching my face, stroking my hair. She's dead, St. Patrick. They killed Celia, and I knew no more.
Wow.